Okay, I know the title says that this is my first flip, but technically it's my second flip. But it's the first one I actually filmed. I did not record the first one because honestly, I had no idea what I was doing, which you'll probably still notice in this one. Moving on, we started by obviously removing all the hardware. I actually found this piece on Facebook Marketplace for $100, which I thought was a good deal. It's a basset dresser. It was in really good shape. I didn't have to do any repairs. All the drawers worked fine. So, as a beginner, for me, this was a good buy, I thought. So, we took off the hardware, took out all the drawers, and then gave it a good clean. I right now am just using a bucket of water and Dawn dish soap. Dawn has always worked well for me. I am going to try maybe using a degreaser of some sort on the next clean. I see a lot of people using that, so give it a try and see how it goes. This one wasn't too bad, definitely dusty inside, but overall not too bad. Next, I decided to try out the stripper and see if I could get at least some of this stain off of the surface. On my first project, I spent a lot of time sanding, so I wanted to try out this method and see if it cut down on some of my sanding time. So I rubbed this all over the top. I probably should have worn a mask because the smell was really strong. But anyway, I put this saran wrap over it because on my first project, it did kind of dry out. So I put this over it to keep it moist and hopefully so that it would work better. While that was sitting, I decided to wash all the hardware. It had like a grimy film on it. So I scrubbed all of that off. Yes, still using my bucket of Dawn dish soap. Then I gave it a little sanding just to polish it up. I think I used a 220 grit for that. And this just kind of helped remove any of that excess dirt or stains that I couldn't get off. Then we spray painted. I went with the gold, which I thought would go well with the neutral tan color that I was planning on painting the dresser. Okay, so we waited. It was time to take off the film and see if this paint stripper helped me out at all. So it did on the top surface. We were able to get a lot of that stain off. As you can see here, it's pretty satisfying video. So that went well, but I can say that doing the sides of the dresser and like the smaller detail areas did not quite work as well. And overall, I thought the whole process, oh, look, there you can see that a lot of that stain did not come off of the side. And the overall process was really sticky and messy, and it smelled really bad. So I'm going to see if I can try a different strategy or technique next time. Once all the sticky stuff was off, we went ahead and started sanding. I will say that the areas where the paint stripper worked well, it really cut down a lot on my sanding times. So here we have everything sanded, and as you can see, the stain had just penetrated so deeply into the wood. I even tried bleaching the drawers, which did absolutely nothing. My original plan for this dresser was to try and keep the natural wood look and maybe just give it a stain or a paint wash, but with how bad the stain had penetrated the wood, it just wasn't possible. So I had to paint it, which is fine. Applied 2 coats of primer, and then I did sand in between the coats just to smooth it out, and then went ahead and applied my first coat of paint. As you can see, I'm using spray paint for everything. My first project, I tried using paint with a roller, and that was just a horrible experience for me. I had to restart like 3 times because you could see all the brush marks. So moving forward, I was like, I'm just going to spray it to get that nice smooth finish. After I finished painting, I applied 2 coats of a polyacrylic top coat. And I will say, at first, there was still some unevenness of the paint, but once I applied the top coat, everything just smoothed out perfectly and it turned out really nice. Now I just put all of the hardware back on, and I did end up touching up the hardware with a little bit more paint before I put them on just to make sure they were perfect. So here is the before, and this is how it turned out. I'm still learning as we go, so we'll see what challenges the next flip brings.